Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It is Lemurian Donna Carroll, and I hope that you are all doing extremely well. I am doing well. Last week on the 17th of March, St. Patrick's Day, I was on the Global Gathering, which is basically a grouping of maybe 5 or 6 healers, mediums, musicians that come together to bring an offering. And so I channeled the Lemurian Mother Goddess. And what she said was that the Lemurian energies will start coming in very strongly on the equinox, which was yesterday, Saturday, March 20th, and continue on until the solstice, which is June 20th. So that was the 17th, and then the 18th and the 19th, I just really got literally knocked on my rear end. The energies coming in were so strong that I couldn't sleep. I got really, really wired. I was up. And finally, I was up during the night. I was sleeping a little bit during the day. And then finally, on the 19th, the energies passed for me. And I went back to normal on the 20th. But the energies for the equinox were incredibly strong. And I'm sure that, if you're sensitive at all, you know that. Also, I had a dream or an experience in an alternate reality a couple days ago on the 19th. And in my dream, the Lemurian portals were being opened, whatever that means. So the Lemurian energy was starting to come to Earth, and there were individuals assigned to each of the stargates. I don't know if they're stargates or chakras for the Earth, but there's a point in time and space, and individuals were assigned to these chakras. And so there were 13 of them. I was assigned to number 1 and number 13. I have a friend who was assigned to 3 of those points within the 13. And then I saw other people being assigned to other stargates. And essentially each stargate had a purpose, and maybe it had a grouping of people that were going to come through that gate or somehow related to that environment. For one of the gates, it was oriented towards the youth, and this gentleman was in charge of it, and many of the young people were going to come through there. So that was pretty interesting, and it was real. I mean, I would do most of my work in the other dimensions. When I'm asleep or astral traveling or whatever, that's when I'm doing most of my work, So it was true. So what the Lemurian Mother Goddess said on the 17th, that these gateways are opening, I had a direct experience that they were. And so basically, if you think it's been crazy up till now, just wait. Last week I was channeling with a friend of mine, and Yeshua came in and gave some information on the Ascension. I thought it was pertinent, so I'm going to recreate it or bring him in again to explain what's going on. And the message that came in, the first message that came in was like, when you get on an airplane and you're told, buckle up, please be seated and fasten your seat belts. We are taking off now. That was the message I got. Like, you just need to buckle in. You need to just be present, comfortable in time and space, wherever you're at, because the energies coming in are so strong that it's like a jet stream. We're going to be swept up in them, and we're not going to have a lot of leeway about moving to the left or moving to the right. It's almost like we're going to be swept up in them, and we're going to move into Ascension. And we're not going to have a lot of control about how it happens, when it happens, where it happens. We just need to be present, and we need to be buckled up and in a place that's comfortable for us. So I've been getting a lot of messages on the Ascension, and normally I don't. So So it tells me that I think it's pretty soon. I honestly, I believe it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it will happen between the equinox and the solstice this year. I think everything's in place to make that so, but we'll see what Yeshua says. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my guides and Yeshua and have him bring in a message about the Ascension. Okay, so at this time, I would like to call in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I would like to call in 100,000 warrior protection angels around myself and anyone watching this live stream or video later. I ask that the angels block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms from entering this space. If anything's released by anyone, angels take it to source, transmute it to light. I call in Yeshua, or Jesus the Christ, and I ask him to bring us a message about the Ascension, whatever he would like to say. And I want to thank the guides in advance for all of their assistance and work. Amen. Hello, this is Yeshua. Some of you consider me your Father God or a male representation of godliness in your earth realm. I would like to say that even though it has been 2,000 years since I was on your planet, for me it does feel like yesterday. And I remember the events that occurred and the times that I experienced like it was yesterday. So I want to say I bring you my love, my blessings, all of the good tidings. I want to give you some news and some information on the Ascension that maybe you are or are not aware of. First of all, let us say that the Ascension is a very, very real process. The Earth is ascending into the fifth dimension, or the dimension of the open heart. Earth made that decision, decided that she wanted to be in a better place, a more evolved place, and return to a higher state of being. When she made this decision, we in the spiritual realms decided to assist her in any and every way that we could, which included us incarnating on the earth to raise the vibration of humans, and also to help raise the vibration of humans, and also to bring in lost knowledge and lost energies to the planet so that she could ascend. Of course, there has been much Luciferian and dark entities and energies on planet Earth for many long years, and this is why the Earth got stuck in a reincarnational cycle for its inhabitants, and also why it has been very difficult for the Earth to break out of these negative patterns with the humans here. So the Ascension process, of course, has been going on since ancient Lemuria. The Lemurian mother goddess came down in ancient Lemuria to bring in a hologram that was crystal clear, pure diamond light. In other words, to bring in a high octave of heavenly energy to the earth, so the earth would have energetically something to shoot for. And then the Ascension energies were worked upon in Lemuria, in Atlantis, in Egypt. Akhenaten established the Christ consciousness grid, which was the grid that was put over the third dimensional matrix so that all life could hook into and attune to that grid so that they could step up onto that grid to ascend, which is what is happening in our day and time. So there have been many, many energies, entities, and participants in this process since ancient times. The Earth right now is off her axis. North and South Pole is not straight up and down in space, but the Earth is crooked. This will be corrected during the ascension process. When we get to that particular point in time and space, the Earth will right herself and open her northern and southern poles, and the Kundalini energy will come through the South Pole all the way up to the North Pole. And it will be a tremendous shift of energy, and it will fully light and fully activate the Christ consciousness grid all over the planet. In other words, the Earth's system is going to recalibrate and rebalance. So there will be earth changes during the point of ascension. Now, people are wondering, am I going to ascend? Am I going to pass in the earth changes? What's going to happen? If you are aware of the ascension and practicing a spiritual path and opening your heart, you are ascending to the new reality. Right now, we are the guides who have been assigned to these particular places are finishing the deep cleanup of planet Earth. The deep underground military bases, the DUMBs, are being cleared out of all the negative ETs and all of the violence and satanic behavior that has been happening there for many, many thousands of years. So these entities are bound and tied. What that means is that negative entities cannot leave this sphere, and they can also not come in. So planet Earth is quarantined during this time from intergalactic traffic. The beings, the victims of the abuse, are coming up and going into healing, and the entities that were the, for lack of a better word, the torturers of other individuals are being taken off planet. They are being escorted to other realities. So when the point in time and place happen for the ascension, there are three main avenues. Either you are a negative ET or a very negative human or hybrid, and you will be escorted off planet, and you will undergo your karma on a different planet. Many who are not ascending because they have not done the work, opening their hearts, preparing for the shift, will pass in the great earth changes that are coming. The earth changes are also happening so that the technical government, technical shutdown of this world will not take place. The agenda of the one world government, the agenda of the one world monetary system, the agenda to have people completely vaccinated and controlled by technology, 5G technology and other technologies in this reality, that plan will be circumvented when the earth shifts and awakens her Kundalini. So basically, you're either going off planet, or you will pass in the earth changes, or you will participate in the ascension. And which means you will be going to a higher octave of planet Earth, Terra Nova, or Mother Gaia. When you go to the fifth dimension, you will go to a beautiful, serene, lovely place, maybe a place that you spent some time at in a former life. For instance, you might have an affinity for forests and meadows, and so you will go to a beautiful, serene, lovely meadow with butterflies floating around, with birds chirping, and with the song of nature being sung. You will awaken in that place, almost as if you are awakening from a very long dream, from a very long slumber. For those people who are ascending but who have undergone great trauma, they will be asleep for a longer period than most. They will be resting and healing and recuperating. As you awaken, possibly in a meadow, for some of you it will be at the seashore, but it will be a beautiful natural spot. You will see spaceships in the field, small ships, silver ships, saucers for the most part. And the guides will be there, these ETs will be there, and you will receive a debriefing. Most of these ETs that are here to help individuals acclimate to the fifth dimension are Pleiadians. These are Pleiadian guides and Pleadian ships, and they are already in place, ready to go. Essentially, Pleiadians have had the most interaction with humans and are the closest to humans in thought and form. Other beings who are here on planet Earth who are ascending but have a closer connection to other types of ETs, Andromedans or perhaps Syrians, will be dealing with their particular kin or soul family. So you will go to the Pleadian ship and you will receive food, shelter, clothing, and information. You will have as much time to ask as many questions about what happened, where you're at, who you are, to the Pleiadian guides. Some people's memories will be sharper than other people's, but for the most part, it will be like a fuzzy dream. Where was I? The third dimension. What was I doing? You were ascending. In other words, it will be a whole new life, a whole new way of being. You will be taller in the fifth than you are now. And you will have the ability to pretty much do what you want to do. The Pleiadians will give you 3 options that are in your highest and best interest for you to pursue, and you can choose one of these options. The Earth herself will be in her natural state. There will be no buildings, there will be no roads, there will be no causeways, there will be no cities. It will be a natural, beautiful land, and humans will be responsible for building the civilization from the ground up. Essentially, what's going to happen is that like souls will coalesce. For instance, if you are a musician and want to pursue music and composition, composing symphonies or writing folk songs or whatever your fancy is, you will coalesce or meet with other musicians and form a community, and you will pursue your interests. You will learn from each other, help each other grow, and explore your passion. The communities will be small, anywhere from 10 to possibly 1,000 people, but they will be on the smaller side. People will not have to struggle or work. They will have food, shelter, and clothing, because the ET technology that exists will make all of these things possible very, very easily. The ETs will be your guides. They will be there to help you, to comfort you, but essentially the rebuilding of Earth will be up to humans, and they will design and build and live in these beautiful communities. People will be able to travel from one community to another. They, of course, will have free will. And when you have had your fill of a certain lifestyle, you can move on to another community, or you can decide to pass from this existence. Once your contract is up, you may decide to lie down and just leave your body and go somewhere else. People will be healed. The crystalline healing technology will be present, which means people can grow body parts, their hormones will be rebalanced, and there will be a reversing of age, unless, of course, you want to look like you're 80 or 90, but essentially most people will choose to be in the 20 to 40-year-old range. Some people will have families, and some people will have um, a beautiful family life. But most people will actually pursue their passions, their interests, and really delve into the things that they could not experience on planet Earth during this last lifetime in this dimension because they were too busy trying to make ends meet or survive. Essentially, it sounds like heaven, but it is a fifth dimensional experience. The Pleiadians are present and ready right now. And if you were clairvoyant and could see into the next dimension, you would see their ships all over the planet. People's healing will be the most important aspect to ascending to this dimension. For those people that just skated by or skated into the fifth because their frequency was just high enough to get in, perhaps these people have a lot of trauma that they need to release. They will have so much support, so much love, so much help in the fifth that their negative tendencies and vibrations will be mitigated or circumvented. So all systems go is what we can say about the ascension. We are hoping with a high probability that it takes place between the equinox and solstice of this year. But of course, ultimately, it is up to humans. Please understand that this has been a long time coming. Much effort, much design, much thought went into this process. And it will be as happy and graceful and loving a process as we can make it. There are many beings who are not aware of the ascension, and some of them are going to ascend. And some people that are aware of the ascension will not ascend because their frequency is not high enough. It is basically all about frequency. Can you sustain the energy of the new earth in your body? Your bodies will be physical, but much, much less dense. So it will be a beautiful earth. It will be a blank drawing board from which you can create the most beautiful civilization that you can muster. There will be many, many new ETs being born in human bodies coming to the planet, and they will bring in many, many gifts and share their intelligence, their designs, their creativity, and mostly their love with humans. So as the channel said, all systems go. Please buckle your seatbelts and get ready to go to the next dimension. It will be like a rocket ship going off energetically from planet Earth to space. The energies will be very, very strong. So just be prepared for that. Know that you're guided and loved and supported in this process, and we will see you all there. Much love. This is Yeshua, and I would like to send you some energy and bring you some healing. And so the channel will do a silent transmission for a few minutes from my heart to yours. And just receive this, and it will impact and affect each of you differently. Thank you. So bringing in Yeshua's energy into my crown chakra from source, into my heart, and out my hands, the palms of my hands and my fingers, sending Yeshua's blessing to you, dear ones. And now the channel returns. Okay, thank you. Hi, Angelique. Hi, Becky. Thank you for being here. That was a transmission of love and forgiveness. So if you need to practice loving people or forgive certain people, that transmission will help you do it. And also, you all were placed in a little egg for your own protection and to help you release anything that can safely be released at this time. So I want to say that I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I am wishing you all the best, okay? So have a great week. Just take it easy. Stay in joy. I feel like the Ascension's almost here. Energetically, it certainly feels like that. So just know that it's not a fantasy. It's real. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Michelle.